The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu. The Consortium of Health and Military...
The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Good evening. Welcome to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator, Farhan, aka WDC. I want to thank you for listening in today. As always, we have a very spectacular, important show for you. First of the month, October, and a lot of stuff to cover.
Damn, it is the first.
It is the first.
You can't
pay
go
your
to the
rent.
bank.
Well, I ain't got no check today.
You can't go
pay
to the
them
bank.
bills yet.
You can't go to the bank. You can't even get in. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of SSI in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
So we got a very spectacular show for you. I got, as you see the rocks here, if you've been following social media, I got my man here all the way from Arizona who's going to be talking about that. We've got a professional basketball player that's been traveling all over the country here with Shireen. We're going to bring him up shortly.
He sounded like he was breathing hard. He said he went to 15 countries. You know, like,
15 countries.
He was like he was walking to 15 countries. Yeah, I went to 15 countries.
China?
I was in China.
He was like, China?
Hold on. I was at 15 countries.
He just got back in town, so he's still trying to get this California air.
It's good to see Uber.
You got to get used to it. He's been out of breath.
Hey, but you know what? I mean, we always do like awareness. You know, yesterday was your last day.
The last day for Sickle Cell Awareness Month.
And this month we go into October with breast cancer awareness, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna start seeing a lot of pink in the field. You know.
Right up your alley, right?
Who, me?
Oh.
He's a Rams fan.
You're right. I do bring awareness to breast cancer. That is right up my alley.
Breast cancer, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I do be repping pink in October.
Panties wearing it.
So we're gonna get this.
He over looking at me what I'm wearing and stuff. Like, how would you even know that?
People in your window.
That's right.
I call it how I see it.
All right. So we're gonna get this. Let's do the introductions, and then we're gonna get right into it after the introductions. What's up, man?
Oh, you know what it is. It's your boy, The Rock. Yeah, baby. Niner Gang in the house. But you know who it is, though. Y'all see me on social media, though. It's your boy, Robert Lamar. What's happening?
God.
Hey, your boy is creating the wave. It's going down, man.
I see you, man. I see your stuff.
Hey, we do things differently. And it started here. We trending a path that, man... Next year around this time, man, y'all look out, though. It's going down.
It's a wrap.
Better bring some damn sponsors. We need. I feel you, though.
Yeah, we you ain't lying about that, though.
We got to pay some bills around here. You know?
That part.
Give me social media, man, so they can follow all these highlights.
Follow your boy, man. And speaking of highlights, did you see that perfect shot?
I did. I gave you credit for that one.
Oh, last week.
Touchdown in the end zone.
Oh, man. It was like right here.
We're talking
his high school.
High school one.
Yeah, it was so dope, man. Yeah.
Right in the back of the end
There's some
zone.
really good quarterbacks out there right now.
Yeah, and we got footage on every last one of them.
So catch
Every
him.
last one of them. So follow your boy Robert Lamar at Robert Lamar 26 on Instagram and Twitter.
Boom. What's up, yo?
What's up with this yo shit, man?
Yo.
He live in Fontana. He ain't from New York.
Yo.
You ain't got him laced like that, man.
The Reebok Classics, fool. You better know.
Y'all know who I am.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What do they say in the Bay?
Put the hush puppies back down. Put the hush puppies down. Man, Cali Sportsman, man, AskIlya.com, Morse Media Studios. If you want to give us a call, 323-293-3375.
Exactly.
Shout out to my boy Al, couldn't be here. His mama's visiting from Switzerland.
Oh, big Al.
So we went no Al alert, but then we brought $12.95 in, so we got Robert Lamar for $12.95.
He fills in the void.
For only $12.95, you can come in here and be on live.
For an hour.
So then I got the dude next to me that everybody like, his hair is so bomb.
I know. They're like, it's so silky.
I was blessed
Flick
with
your
the
hair.
hair.
Flick your hair.
He didn't get the height. He just got the hair. So
It's going to go all over Ilya. So.
Oh, don't be going that route.
Oh, wait a minute. See, that's what I told you. We going that way. Let me know.
Hold on. Let me slide.
But I was gifted with good hair. I can't be blamed for that.
Well, I was gifted with good hair. You too.
I used to.
Yeah.
I was gifted.
I see you had a kid in play back in 1970.
We got to get those pictures. We got to get those
don't.
pictures. Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
All right, so you already know it's Oscar right here at _Moreno_1989. So this is my favorite part of the year, which is October, because we're about to have basketball, football, and baseball all at the same time.
No
right
hockey? No love for hockey?
Hockey? Well, I'm talking about the big three. After the big three, you fill in the voids here
Plus
and there.
hockey.
Yeah.
We want to shout out to your boy Laurent. Was it Laurent Portis? Is his name Laurent?
He said,
Yeah.
hold up, he has a phone call.
Shout out to Laurent because Laurent want to come in and talk about some wrestling.
Oh,
So,
heck yeah.
Definitely down for that, man.
Talk to
Where
him
you
on
at?
Saturday, so we'll put him down.
Yeah.
Put him down 1 week.
Have him put KC in like the ankle lock or something. The boy KC.
KC, you guys done a great job on that.
Hey, that ain't even necessary,
That's
yo.
my boy.
That ain't even necessary.
It's called imitation.
That's not even necessary. So the first few minutes, you guys want to cover just what happened with your squads?
Or let's talk about today. We had baseball going on.
Dodgers, baby!
Thank you.
We had a playing game. Well, basically, what was the stipulations? If we won today, then we get the playoff spot against Atlanta. We did not have to play the playing game tomorrow, right?
Right, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
and it had home advantage, home field advantage.
So how'd that play out?
We won!
They won.
Dude.
Got the internet? You ain't got the internet no more?
No,
Your
I
cable
don't
off?
check. I don't check on Dodgers, yo.
He got dial up still.
I don't check on that. Earthlink. Hey, they didn't pay for that either. My bad, Earthlink, y'all. Well, you didn't deserve that.
So, yeah, the Dodgers won today and Milwaukee. So now the losers of that team actually face tomorrow off in the wild card. And the winner of that gets to face Milwaukee. So
I mean, the interesting thing is that, the Dodgers are so quick to get thrown under the bus. But then,
it's their salary. They're spending a lot of money.
they get thrown under the bus because they put a lot of emphasis on pitching. But I'm looking at them play. It's a lot of ball movement off the bat. You know what I'm saying? That's just Turner. I mean, a lot of cats you think wouldn't be hitting.
Yeah.
It's a good time for them.
This
This is what most clubs look for because, it's early season. You get these guys, moving the bags, and then to come this time, no one shows up. So that was the Dodgers for how many years? So
now they're showing up.
Well, it's kind of almost like this. I'm an A's fan. Thanks for my boy who did The Rock, the A's fan, and they did the same thing. I mean, they was kind of a contender just last week, and then got to keep the ball in play.
And what I can say is this year, the reason it's different is because I feel they're playing their best baseball in September. They started off pretty slow. They got Machado. Everyone had to adjust. But right now, I feel like in the beginning of the month, they were just killing it. and they showed it. You know, they closed it out with winning the division.
So what you think is bullpen hitting? What's happening?
It's when we come down to the playoffs, it becomes a pitcher tournament.
Yep.
And
Bullpen.
That's what is concerning the living hell out of me is their lack of bullpen depth.
Right.
Oh,
Is that what happened last year? Huh?
That's what happened last year. And they played the wrong guy at the wrong time.
Yeah, and we blame you, and you is no longer here anymore.
Who, you blaming me?
You Darvish.
Oh, you Darvish.
Yeah, we blame you.
Okay, I thought you were blaming me.
Not me.
Not you.
You? Okay.
I should have, man. If I had, man, I should have copyrighted that. But that's what it is. It's a pitcher tournament, and unfortunately, throughout the trade deadline, that was not addressed. It wasn't, and I am terrified again that if we go, whoever's going to come out the AL, we're not going to be deeper than them in the bullpen.
Right.
And that's what came down to like 7 games last year is not having enough depth.
So we seeing Houston this year again? Or?
Might see the Yankees.
Yankees.
That'd be nice.
I mean, they broke that home run record.
That'd be nice.
Well, they got to get through Boston and Houston, who I feel are playing better overall.
I'm not buying anything Red Sox. The only thing that's dope about Boston is some B hats. Outside of
You
that,
got this free shirt that's red.
I said the B
Cardinal
hat.
fan in
I
here.
said the B hat.
Cardinal fan in here.
Hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
It's the
fly,
same.
though.
It's the same color as the
It's fly.
Niners.
You got
Oh, wait, yeah.
Same area.
It's the same
I'm
color.
really careful now.
Hold on. Yeah, you got the whole matching outfit.
Right.
You know
You know what I mean?
It's the same color.
Yeah, he got
Same
black
color,
shoes.
same family.
Hey, you
Hold
know
on,
what it
we'll
is.
cover that up.
I'm
Let's
from.
cover that up. Let's
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's like dissing right there. Even though our neighborhoods don't get along up there, but it's all good though. We have a date like soon.
Damn, listen,
49ers and Raiders.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's
Simple as that.
Clarify your
clarity.
statement.
Like,
Yeah, and I do need that beautiful little girl of yours to reenact that beanie shot.
Hey, we're going to find that photo.
Hey, 15 countries. So I'm a Raider fan, here 49er fan, right? So hold up, listen to the story. So listen to the story. So I have a daughter that's on the set, right? So I left something in the car, right? I goes out to the car. He had dressed my daughter up in 49er gear, right? That's like death, do you part, right? So it's going to be to be continued, but I owe him actually one. So I'm gonna figure it out though. I know he likes.
Have her fly.
I know he likes Sundays. I know he likes Sundays.
I ain't gonna eat it because he gonna have me on the toilet all day.
Some excellence.
Was that what kind of chocolate was that?
Some
That was
homemade whipped
chocolatey.
cream. Some
Man.
homemade-
Come back on the set, got my daughter dressed up in some Niner gear.
The most beautiful Niner fan I've ever seen in my life.
She is gorgeous.
She was.
Oh, yeah.
That was a nice photo, though.
So what happened? Steelers did it all.
Yeah, man.
Finally,
You know what, man?
The steel mills is open. What's happening?
It's tough, man. I just think that if we just make it through the season, get a wild card, I'm happy with it.
Le'Veon Bell, bro.
It's too early.
He's not taking their calls anymore. He has the upper hand now.
Hey, the funny part, he could come back. What is it? Week 10?
Right.
Oh, he's trolling. Good for him.
He's trolling.
But you want to know what though? Pay attention to what you're seeing. This is going into next year
Right.
lockout
Ooh.
because Le'Veon Bell is a guaranteed player.
Right.
Contracts. We're about to basically finally be in the last of the era of NFL contracts not being guaranteed. It ends this year.
Right.
But Le'Veon is pretty much sticking it to them. They should have paid him. Screw them.
And
And,
after-
and I hope that y'all don't make the playoffs.
So your
Wild card,
quarterback,
baby.
so
We
your
wild card
quarterback,
all the time.
your quarterback could get all the millions of dollars, right?
Franchise
Look
quarterback.
like you need to be on the front of GQ magazine, right?
Banging
The porn star dater.
stars.
The porn
Yeah.
star dater.
Yeah.
Laid out, and then y'all come back the next week and try to put it in, put it down. What happened? Tell me what's going on over there in the city by the bay.
Well, we're just playing for a good draft pick at this point.
We're in what, week 5? Y'all playing for draft picks already?
Week four.
Hey, it is what it is. When your franchise quarterback thinks he's Michael Vick for a second and tears his knee in the process, your season will be ending as well. So therefore, it's going to be a long, you-know-what season for my Niners until we play the Raiders and get our next victory.
Well, the Raiders feel like they got life with a win yesterday, right?
Yeah,
there was already life.
Where was it?
With a winless team, there's life with a winless team.
There was always life when you're a Raider. We're not one who be getting down on ourselves because we lose a game.
That is true.
Right?
They're so used to losing, they don't care.
They got to find happiness in it, right?
You got to understand, it's fourth quarter losses, right?
That part. I mean, the loss is a loss, but yeah.
I'm a businessman. It's a
Here you go,
fourth
Cali
quarter
us.
Business.
It's not like we just got blown out.
So,
you know what I'm saying? It's a fourth quarter loss, based on a lack of defense and secondary.
Time ran out on the clock.
All right.
That's what happened.
So, well, it looked like it did pretty good today. We got a kicker that know how to kick.
Well, you know what?
Because he missed the first one at 50.
You can never
don't
disrespect.
They practice at 50 when you're in the NFL?
Well, you would think
different
so.
in the game, though.
But you practice
It's
at
not
50.
supposed to be different in the game, to be honest with you. I mean, you get paid to do one thing.
Kickers practice at
mental
40,
toughness,
50.
though. Mental toughness.
You don't even got to do like cardio, like anything as a kicker. You just got to kick through those.
But I'm saying
that's it.
You're talking about the person that's probably the least on the field, and in the most critical moment, he gets in there. He feels all that pressure.
That sounds like a you problem.
I think he wanted to be a kicker.
He wants to kicker. He sounds like a kicker.
I tried. I was playing soccer. That was the one position I could try out for.
Well, you know what? You would have made the team.
All right, so we're gonna take this first break. We're gonna bring up my man RC, who actually painted these. This is a Marine veteran. This is therapy.
WDC.
That's right, baby.
Man,
that's my field. Just so you know, that's my field.
Lamar. It says Lamar Field actually.
So this is, I'm a veteran myself. Actually, this is my therapy. Being on the sports show is part of my therapy, and I met RC, and this is a part of his therapy. So he's gonna come up on the stage, on the deck, talk about himself, his sports, but one of the reasons why he painted all these rocks for us. So we'll be right back. This is Sports.
Yeah, that's super dope.
So where in the hell did he come
The
from?
Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctt-ggg@usuhs.edu.
All right, welcome back to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator, Farhan, aka WDC. Again, I want to thank you for tuning and listening in so far. Hey, check it out. This right here. There's no. Oh, we got. She's coming in. She's coming in to fix my. There we go. This is live, y'all. This is what happens when you live. It goes down like that. Boom.
He's like a little kid.
Boom. Boom, right there. All right, so RC, man, thanks for coming all the way from Arizona, man. But first of all,
bear down.
Yo.
Oh yeah, bear down, Arizona.
And also thanks for taking the time out to paint these rocks for us, man. So introduce yourself to the listeners, man, and then let's get this sports segment started, man.
Yeah, my name is Richard R.C. Thompson. I'm a featured combat veteran in the documentary Unshattered Redemption, being produced by No Way Out Films, Michael Butler, and John Williams in association with Angel and Music Productions. And it's about combat and PTSD. I'm a native of Arizona, and the rocks that I brought actually, they keep me alive. That's my therapy.
I love it.
So they keep me from, I'm a combat Marine, I'm a grunt, so back in the day, I liked to fight. Headbutt, I was no good at football or basketball, so the next thing was to sign up and go in the Marine Corps. And after war, with everything I went through, I had to find things that kept me good, kept me from,
Headbutting
folks and stuff, chasing people down the street. So I just started doing artwork on rocks.
Is that why your calves are so big? Chasing folks down the street?
Look,
once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yeah, in the Marine Corps, man, they teach us King of the Hill, and I was good at that. You know, I'm 5'7".
You so looking at everybody ankles, nigga. I'm got you.
They picked the big guy. I'm headbutting. You can bite and do anything in the Marine Corps. So when I got out, it was culture shock. You know,
my goodness.
I had to get a job, and they're calling me in the office like 3 times a week, talking about, you got to quit cussing at people, calling them lazy and stuff. I'm like, well, what? You know, if I can stand up for 8 hours and I can play, and they can too. So it was hard.
Yeah.
Make an adjustment. I think I just got good at it about 3 years ago.
You were a sergeant coming in.
Yeah. Hey, I got out in 92, and I just made the adjustment 3 years ago. So
wow.
It takes, you know, I tell them I'm passive aggressive.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'll be passive until you make me have to come out with that aggressiveness and stand my ground, you know. So
yeah.
I'm an A-type person. I'm different.
It's interesting because part of it is
that is cool.
Part of it is your personality, right? Yeah. In regards to just who you are. But then when you went in the military, was it things that they try to change, or I mean, you both military guys. Yeah. It's always the theory. I mean, I was a student athlete, so I didn't get to go to the military, but it was like this change. You come in and they changing.
You want to handle that
fixing, one? Because I got a 20-year-old at home that, like, you know, his feet ain't flat. So,
Roman?
you know what I mean? Yeah.
It depends.
His feet ain't flat.
It
boy.
depends because depends on what you're dealing with before you join, and then that becomes the reason why you join.
Okay.
Then it just enhances and heightens that. Whatever that is.
He touched on it because I was one always getting in trouble.
So was you a knucklehead when you first got there?
Yeah, I was a knucklehead. So I said, if I join the military, I can get away with this. and I get paid to do it. So then the war happened, and I was like,
this is not what I wanted.
Yeah. Send me back home.
Yeah, and that was the problem that I didn't know about then because they enhance everything that's not legal at home.
Yeah.
You
really?
know, the anger, the rage.
Really?
And the issue is,
do you treat the people in the country that aren't combative, or do you find yourself treating them nice or not?
You know what? That's a good question because my girlfriend, she gets mad at me. I was talking to Farad about this because when I get upset, I got anger and I got temper that I got to work on.
Right.
And I've done good because I went from headbutting.
You want to sit over here?
You're sitting in the right place.
I don't want to hurt nobody on Monday. Then you won't get out of jail till next Monday.
I've gone from headbutting and fighting to where now I'm working on the mean words that I use. And one of the things that I do when I get upset is I start, you damn civilians. My girlfriend, you motherfucker, don't you call me that? You civilians don't do nothing. So I gotta watch it. So it is a separate, and Farhan will tell you.
Yeah. Us as citizens or the citizens of the country you were in?
Both.
Oh, okay.
You can't separate the two.
No. Yeah, and you know, with me being in the film Unshattered Redemption, and it's a great question that you asked because I had to address that because there are what I call super civilians.
Okay.
The civilians that go out of their way to back us.
Okay.
To support us.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Patriots.
they get upset when somebody else calls us crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
They say you don't treat our veterans like that.
Right.
So the super civilians, of course, I back them because they keep me going.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's the ones that say, "Oh, thank you for your service," and walk away and call you a crazy bastard.
Oh, that's not right.
Under their breath, because it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So people fear what they don't understand.
We've got a little bit of a way saying thank you for your service. There was a time no one wanted to thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we just had a city councilwoman here on Lula Holmes, and she was talking about how there should be, every city should have at least 50 rooms or 50 beds for veterans that are winning paid, you know, their respects to give us safety. We should be giving something back, and there's no way that people should be homeless.
And that's a big deal because I was a homeless veteran too. So.
RC, man, tell us, man, the process for these rocks, man. I know you got to find the rocks. What are you looking for? These are some smooth
You can't ask me where I get the rocks from.
Well, don't tell. Okay. Don't say the location.
All right, wait. What is that? What's the process when you pick up a rock?
Yeah.
If it's the right rock.
Hey, you know
Don't
what?
say where they came from.
Look, that's one of the questions where I told my producers I hope they don't ask that question. And I'm from the hood. I grew up in the project, so when I'm looking for rocks, it looks like somebody lost a crack rock. Yeah. So I've learned to, like, in certain hours I go, certain places, and I'm looking around.
You don't know who looking at you.
I gotta learn to play it off, because they're looking at me. Hey, look, I'm a black man. I'm short. They tell me I look mean. So when I'm standing in front of a bed of rocks and somebody's gonna call the police, it's happening, man. Hey, I'm in Phoenix. I had to explain to an officer what I'm doing with this blank rock in my hand. And he's like, well, it's a big rock. I'm not going to hurt nobody with it. I want to draw on it. Yeah, okay. then I had to show my artwork.
You have to carry it on your phone.
Then I had to show my artwork. Yeah,
it's ready. Here it is. No, look. See, this is really what
So I told my girlfriend, hey, I'm going for a walk. I put my music on about 10 o'clock at night. Nice and peaceful, and find me some rocks.
Wow.
And then, when I look for the rocks, I look at the shapes. I look at the sizes. When I first started doing the rocks, I didn't know any better. I was getting big ass rocks and drawing on them. I'm like, here you go. People look like, that's nice. So I started to look for rocks that could stand on their own or had nice shapes to them and stuff like that. And then the big. Ferran brought up, why I do the artwork on the rocks. And the serious part about it is this is what kept me alive, dealing with my PTSD. And for about 6 years straight.
But hold on, stop right there. Because, that don't even calculate with me.
Okay.
Like, that kept me alive. I think stop at that point, because you guys both have little windows where it's like, you've dealt with life and death. I always hear you always say that you was taught how to kill, and you also taught how to accept death, right?
Oh, yeah.
So when you say to keep me alive,
right.
For a person who knows both ends of the stick, who's been trained, what does that really mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. For me, it makes sense. For me, it means it gives me something that I value so much that's what makes my life. At that time, like especially when I was doing bad,
purpose.
That's what gave me value.
Okay.
That's what when I got family and friends saying, "Oh, he's just a crazy veteran," or "He acting, he's just doing this to get his monthly check." Oh, there's nothing wrong with me, but you haven't invited me to any family functions, barbecues, anything else.
Yeah.
You stay away from me
because they know you bringing them damn rocks. But you know what? It's almost
Rock game is tight.
The mental health issue is really a big topic, and
huge.
Huge. A lot of money is coming out trying to kind of come up with resolutions with that, and we hear that side of it too, where oh, that's Johnny, he just crazy, leave him in the back, and then
But that's our culture. That's the black and Hispanic culture. Not everybody.
There's a lot of white guys out there shooting.
Yeah, but their parents put them in therapy and they protected.
Their parents didn't get none of that
because they go to therapy.
But they don't all go to therapy.
But from a
they
cultural,
get diagnosed.
They go out and shoot people.
But you got to understand
they've been diagnosed
from a cultural standpoint.
No one did anything
from a
about
cultural
it.
standpoint, you could go back in the black community where there's always them family members that was in the back. That's Uncle Ned. He crazy. Woo.
Every culture has them.
And they'll slide him a plate under the table.
Yeah, but
then when he do something, then they try to say, okay, now it's mental health.
See, this is why I do my trench talk, and this is why my military conversation is so important, because
why don't you promote that?
We have to figure out. You got the VA, and they do their great work, right? But everybody is not a square. So you create a program for a whole bunch of squares, and you ain't asked no circles, no triangles, no rectangles, nobody else.
Right.
So if you don't fit into that square program, then you have nowhere to go. So it's people like us that have to use our own outlets, like the sports show or my advocacy work, to find something to redirect all of my frustrations and anger and upset into something positive.
So my question to you, going to the military, was it worth it?
I would do it again.
I wouldn't do 20, but I would do it again.
I would do it again.
I wouldn't do 20.
I would go to war again, because it's separate. The entities that we deal with are separate. I love my Marine Corps. It's separate from the government.
Because them the ones that's with you, and
those
you
the ones
develop those relationships.
And you got to understand,
it's a brotherhood.
You got to understand, at some point in that basic training, your brain switches over from civilian to military, and it never changes back. And they don't teach us how to turn it off. They teach you how to turn it on, but you don't get taught how to turn it off.
That's why everybody wants to go back and be with their brothers and save their lives.
We don't, and it's no different than if you look at an NFL football player or anybody who plays sports from 8 years old.
Exactly.
When that career is over,
that rush.
Where do you find it?
Now?
So we find it on motorcycles and fast cars.
Yeah, I was looking to do demolition derby, and VA's like, oh hell no. and then I went out and I got a scooter.
Well, that's a demolition derby in what's that? Buckeye.
Yeah, they called up there and told them don't mess with me. So then I went and got a scooter, and I was gonna start a little group of veterans that were aggressive like me, and we were gonna race on scooters and stuff. I wrecked the scooter. See, I got road rash. A lot of people tell it was a regular motorcycle, but I wrecked the scooter trying to hit a cat.
Oh no!
And the cat,
he was trying to hit the cat.
Yeah, I was trying to hit the cat.
Get away from the cat.
That was still my bad days. I was trying to hit the cat.
Peter.
Okay, I think we're done.
Peter, we gonna take a break right now.
Let's
Peter,
take a
I'm sorry, Peter.
323-293-337.
There were no cats harmed.
He missed the cat. That's what he asked for.
All right.
And God got him back. He got road rage.
Why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat?
Hey.
And nothing but the dog is.
Hey, I gotta tell you, when I wrecked, the cat looked at me and did like two moves like Barry Sanders. And I went over the handlebars. This where the story got good because it was kind of in my hood. I'm glad nobody seen it because I was just leaving the hood. So I'm laying there because I'm dizzy. I have my helmet. I'm dizzy, and a short Mexican man comes up and says, "My friend, are you okay?" And I looked at him, and it felt good. And somebody gave a damn about me. I said, "Yeah." Once I said, "Yeah," he took my damn. My carrying little pot, my luggage thing off my scooter. He took it and took off.
Oh, stole it from you?
Yeah. I rode through the hood in Guadalupe.
On Guadalupe.
I rode through the hood for a week because I said, I know he got some plants in it now. He done used this as a pot. But that's what I get for trying to hit that cat. You know? And after about 20 minutes,
you know what? You missed your calling. You should be a comedian.
We're gonna take this break. Please come back. Coming up next, the man that's been to like 15,000 countries.
No,
it's 15,000 countries?
1,500 countries.
Oh, 1,500. I thought it was
out of breath. That's why he was out of breath.
That's a military assignment.
You got a special passport.
This is
3 phones. He has 3 phones.
Hold on, this is beyond chasing the hoop dreams. This is beyond chasing the hoop dreams.
He's a do-gooder too, by the way.
So he's a do-gooder. We're coming back with the do-gooder right here on Sports Collective TV.
15 countries.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
All right, welcome back to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator, Farhan, aka WDC. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at IamWDC. Make sure you go to all the social media, Sports Collective Media on Instagram. We post all of the up and coming episodes, social media, the highlights.
You're killing me.
And she's killing them, or he's killing her. Not like chasing the cats though on the scooter.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Shireen, this is on you. So let's
This is on me.
This is on you. Introduce your guest.
Okay,
here.
so I met this guy at the Texas Legends tryout, and I feel like we've known each other forever. And it was only 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah. What I found out is this guy knows everybody in LA, it seems. Everywhere we go out to Thousand Oaks to a G League tryout. He knows half the team that's sitting there. He's never met any of them, and they all know each other. So,
Social media.
This is Mahershal Simonet. He goes by Hirsch. He grew up here in LA. I'm gonna ask him more about that, but he's a alumni of Washington Prep in Los Angeles, and he's traveled the world playing basketball.
Man, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Man.
Interesting. Yeah. Being from LA, you know, it's a little different. It's survival out here.
Yeah.
And you know, I always say, you make it out, you make it out. You know what I mean? If you can make it out, that'd be the good thing. It was hard coming out. I mean, I wasn't spoiled to the game or spoiled to life. It was just more of I had to just fight through. You know? No mother, father, was abandoned at 4. Grandmother picked me up off the street. Then after that, I just went in and just took over after that. Used a basketball tool to take me across the world.
When did you figure out that basketball was going to be that way out for you? Because, you know, there's a lot of ways to go from military to football, basketball. What was basketball?
I was the type of person, I couldn't work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I had to work for myself. You know, and then a lot of my best friends, you know, they was in NBA at a young age. I used to be a sponge and watch them how they operate with different agents and different, you know, situations. You know, I went to Westchester first, and after that, I went and transferred over to Washington because there was too much going on at Westchester. So I was just like, man, look, I'm going to the hood school.
Yeah.
And you played against a lot of current NBA players, right?
Yeah, like it was crazy. Like I got older. I'm 32 and I'm still active. You know, and the funny thing about it, once I was in China. You know, Nate Robinson was my teammate. Gary Payton was my head coach. Coach Mike McGee, one of the Lakers with the Lakers with Magic back in the day. He was a good friend of mine. And Spoil Webb, me and her met with him, and Eric Strickland. So a lot of guys, you know, the mentors, you know, guided me through coming up. I negotiated all my contracts on my own in these countries. I went directly to the owners. I didn't want to have an agent. I didn't want to deal with talk. I wanted to deal with A or B, and that's what I care about. Seeing this game is very tricky. People talk a lot. You know, I like to do. You know what I mean? And if you can do, you're a doer, then I'm all for it. You know.
But there's that other piece, like when you go and negotiate those type of contracts. I mean, we heard the stories.
Yeah.
You know, we've done these shows, these stories with, you know, people been in Dubai and in Mexico, and
you got to play to win. You'll keep your spot every night. You live
what I do, I was kind. No, absolutely. Like, you know, and that's a great point because I
put up 30 every night, and that night you don't put up 30 years your plane ticket, you're going home.
Yeah, in a situation like that, that's the truth. The funny thing about my situation was, I witnessed and watched literally how seeing a contract for $90,000 and every 1st and 15th you can receive that. You know, in NBA, and then after that I say, you know what, I'm gonna go abroad. I'm gonna try to figure out abroad. So. I had a whole bunch of agents talking to me, but I just didn't trust any of them off this conversation. So one morning I just woke up. You know, I mean, I booked my ticket a one way to China. I didn't know nobody. I just said I booked the ticket, went straight there, had $10,000 on me. I used that for hotel and gym.
That was bold.
Very, you know, and I was just like, I used my South Central mentality of growing up in survival and using it in the Chinese way. So next thing you know, I stayed there 3 years, start speaking Mandarin, and start, you know, acting like the Chinese, looking like the Chinese. You know, I'm doing whatever the Chinese do, I'm doing it. Okay? I'm Marbury now. Okay? I want a statue. Okay?
Marbury. Hold on, let's see.
Hello?
All right, you're live with Sports Collective.
Hi, is it Mahershal?
Yeah, he's here.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm hanging in there. I'm living life.
Who is this?
My name is Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, how are you?
Where you calling from, Tiffany?
I'm calling from downtown LA.
Downtown LA. All right. So what's your question for the guest?
I wanted to know what made him interested in going overseas to play basketball.
Yeah, why China? Like, why China when you woke up that day?
I felt like they had all the money. It's 1 billion people. I didn't know what else to do. You know, I was like, all right, I'm going all the way, you know.
And this was a while ago, like a decade ago, right?
This was last year. Well, I just got back. After that, I went straight to the Bahamas, but I did 3 years in China. Just stay there and grind it out. I wanted to just stay there until I got to the bag.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
You know, I needed a Band-Aid.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
You know.
That's great. That sounds excellent. So how long did you stay? Were you ever, like, homesick?
I got homesick. I got homesick, but at the same time, I always like kind of, you know, it was kind of weird because, you know, the bed feel like a table. You know, and then like you gotta like have a nice
your own bed.
Yeah, I had, but the Walmart I had to go get cushions. So they didn't have Walmart. It was called Walmart. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, I'm adjust to Walmart and got cushion and I felt like I was at home.
Okay.
But the pollution was terrible. I didn't like that.
Oh yeah, you said it was unhealthy. It was really hard.
Yeah, at a point in time, but the pollution got to me. I started coughing a lot. And then I'm like, man, you know what? I'm in a survival mode over here. I got to go get some medicine. So when I go get the medicine, I see a box and I'm like, okay, it's lines. Okay, it don't even say Tylenol. So I'm like, all right, a line is an A, another line down is a B, across is a C. So there's a tic-tac-toe sign the whole way. And I'm like, all right, what medicine to use? So then I had to go get a Chinese girl, and I was trying to.
You broke down and got your Chinese girl.
Ni hao.
Make you some wonton soup and get you back right.
Wonton soup. It ain't clown chowder. It's wonton cracker. It's going down at Moore's meeting.
So you talk about your mental toughness. You talk about the family. I was blessed to meet your grandfather on Saturday in an interview, who's a World War II veteran. You know, you accredit him, you know, for your guidance in life. So talk about that piece right there from leaving or growing up in Inglewood and leaving that transition.
It's hard for me. A guy that's 93 years old with a 6-year education, you know, would take me to school every day. He'd take me to do different things around him. He'd give me $5 allowance, you know. And he was just like, man, make sure you come home. It was a straight line. He didn't play. He was strict. And he wanted the best for me. You know, he didn't want to see me down to this day, you know. And it's just to see him alive at 93 and I'm 32 is like, man, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to take me in his arms, you know, but he felt some type of energy, you know, and I appreciate him so much for it.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you know, he's like my father. You know, it's not just a grandfather. He's like somebody that can teach me. If I make a mistake, he say, hey, Hirsch, you need to get out there. You can't just sit around here until 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
You got to get up at 5. And so that's where I kind of got majority of my discipline from. You know, that veteran stuff that he was doing, he don't like water now for some reason, you know. And when I was in the Bahamas, I used to tell him the Simonets come from
He's a Navy guy, by the way.
Yeah, he's a Navy. And I didn't even know, but, you know, once he was telling me the Simonets come from Eleuthera over in the Bahamas, is out of Nassau. So I was just, you know, I did 700 islands there. I did 7 charities there. And our last name, we have our own private island. And he didn't know, and they all look like him.
Wow.
So I went over there, and I was just like, you my uncle? Okay, I'm at KFC.
Right.
And I see Simonet. I'm like, you my cousin. That's crazy. And I was just like, you know, I'm about to stay here. I think he's on some ring. I need this gym foot
inherited.
They ain't got resources over there. They playing barefoot.
Yeah, for
okay.
Sure.
So I used to be like, man, this is crazy. So I embraced. I put 7 guys in college, put them on scholarships from universities and stuff like that. I went over there, got back in with a partnership called Alive. Alive is a phone company there. It's like Apple. So, you know, in that island, all they have is 2 phone companies. You know, the island big as this room. Wow. So it's kind of like you got to really, you know your ground and know your way because there's villages, you know, poverty. So I walked the streets there. You know, Bob Marley, he grew up over in Nassau area. And Oprah, Lenny Kravitz, you know, they all down there, but those are the rich in one area. But then you got the poverty, so there's no middle, you know. So I just kind of embraced myself over there and just made another home. You know?
What had you not pursue the NBA side versus the overseas side? Well,
I get that question a lot, and it's a good question. It's you know, I had a best friend that went to the NBA, Gabe Pruitt, and played for the USC, and we split $5 together. You know, and me, him, Trevor Ariza, and you know, a lot of Westchester guys that I grew up with. You know, some of them are in the NBA now. Russell Westbrook's a really good friend. James, you know, these guys we competed. You know, we competed throughout South Central. So, you know, I was underdog, you know, and I used to watch and learn, but then I used my mentality because I didn't kiss anybody's, you know, tail.
Right.
You know, I kind of wanted to fight on my own, and it was a chip on my shoulder. My homeboy, I couldn't let my homeboys know what I wanted to do. I had a fresh Nike. Okay? Yeah. So I was like, okay, I need to make sure I was going, and, you know, I wanted to make sure that I go abroad and do something different, not just the NBA. I think a lot of guys in the NBA, they get more spoiled to a lot of people backing them, you know, which is good for the family and good for them. But I was more of I was tough. You know, I was relentless when it came to making a decision. Like, I didn't want to talk about it. If it's either going to happen, it's going to happen.
And it's not a bad thing to go overseas and play basketball. People think that only the United States is the only place where you can live and
make a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not just the U.S. where you can thrive and have a great career and experience
And it's really
life.
not all about the money, too. Like you say, you get a lot of other leisures. You know,
you see the world. So, depends where you're put. But
yeah. I think
speaking different languages, learning about different foods. I mean,
drinking tea, having salads.
Yeah. That was a little rough. Thailand was probably a little rough when I first got there. I didn't have an agent in Thailand. I was in China. You have to leave every 60 days. I left and went over to Thailand, and I had a tear in my visa from a French girl. You know, I had some problems with a Chinese girl got mad, so I was like, look, I gotta go. I'm out. I went to Thailand, did my visa run. I'm like, that's 4 hours. What's a Vegas trip?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. The immigration hold me up, and it was like, you know what? We can't let you in. So I stayed with no food or no Wi-Fi for 5 days. They held me in a holding facility. So I was like, you guys,
because you had a tear in your passport?
Just a small tear in my passport.
Thailand is very strict.
So I called the U.S.
You
Embassy.
drop gum, you get what do you call it?
Swipe, a hit, something. They be tripping.
Get like slaves.
So you call the U.S., you call the embassy. What happens with the embassy?
When I called the embassy, they did a little bit, but I said, I need a temporary passport. They didn't give it to me the third day. So I was like, man, you know what? Now I'm about to turn survival mode, okay? So I asked the janitor, I said, hey, I'm going to give you $175. Can you take this? I don't know him. He just tied. And we spoke English. I said, do me a favor, please. Just take this to the embassy. He took it and he brought me a temporary passport back. They let me go.
Wow.
Okay.
Another caller. All right, cool.
Okay.
You live at Sports Collective.
Hello, this is Demi.
Demi, how you doing, Demi? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Long Beach, California.
LBC when you get back. What do you want to ask the guest here? Or do you know the guest?
Yeah, do you know the guest?
Of course she knows her.
Yeah. Hey, we want to have you on every week. Hey, Robert, we don't have a spot for you no more.
Rob, I ain't gonna do you like that. It's all good, baby.
All right, so what do you want to say, caller?
I'm just calling from Long Beach, telling Herschel that he has #1 supporter and love and just great vibes. I'm just sending great vibes. That's it.
Good vibes. Great vibes to Herschel.
Very nice.
I see you, Demi. I see you. Okay.
So what's next? You know, you're in town for a few weeks. Out with Shireen.
A lot of people have been contacting me. You know, New Balance contacted me the other day. I mean, a lot of sponsors talking to me. KTLA wants to talk to me. I got some people that ABC News, I did something with them. They want to do an update. Yeah. So I got some type of talk. You know, my biggest thing is if you're doing something massively in Los Angeles. You know, but I want it to make sense. It's busy out here. Everybody got stuff going on. I don't like to jump on anybody's toes. Yeah. You know, if it makes sense, if God say, hey, you know, I want you to do this and this, and just come and do it like this right here. I know none of you guys. But the energy is so positive, man. It's just, I'm appreciative just to even be on here speaking. Deal. You know what I mean? Because I'm about positive energy. If your energy is
nothing
not great,
but positive energy in this room.
Oh man, I felt it right when I came in. You know what I mean?
But see, there's nowhere you could go in LA and walk on a sports show, man. Just start talking about your team and just start talking trash.
Off Crenshaw.
When can you do that?
You know, I'm going out. I'm like, I grew up in LA. What radio show? On
I'm
Crenshaw?
like driving him around. He's like, wait, I know where I'm going. Where are we?
Big homie next door.
Where are we?
You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, man.
We on Faux Trey right here all day. Faux Trey all day.
Faux Trey. What radio station is there?
Now, don't go all the way to Stockton. Stop on 43rd.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, we're making it right. And I seen a black gate. I'm like, okay, we got some protection.
He's asking me all kinds of I'm trying to get here fast. He goes, why are you? I'm like, we're gonna go live any minute. He goes, where are we? This is my place.
And I started getting memories because the funny thing, you know, like about I was 23 one time. I had a girl I was dating. She did some Baldwin Hills show out here. So we was dating, and she's one of the main girls. So she brought me over. Like, how you drove me, right? Oh,
another caller.
Okay,
somebody's popular.
Stories telling over here.
Hello,
you live at Sports Collective.
Hi, Hurt.
Ooh, woman number 3.
Hey.
Show that in a minute. Show that in a minute.
Now you know why Ilya wants him on every
Show that in somebody dated Bill Cosby.
All right, what you got, caller? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Irvine.
Irvine is in the building. All right. Okay,
Yes.
Irvine.
From Long Beach to Irvine, we keep going south.
Further south.
We're going to be in San Diego in a minute.
You have any questions for the caller, for the panel?
Yes, actually, I'd like to know if Hirsch is still involved in all of his philanthropic things that he does all over the country to help young kids. I just want to know if he's still helping children.
Oh.
Yes. Right now, I want to do something massive in Los Angeles. I'm trying to pick the right time and the right people. You know, that's very important to me, dealing with people. And when you're doing positive things, because it's not just about the money, but it's about making sure someone else get what I had, because I'm truly blessed. Yeah. So if a person don't get that, then I don't want to be a part of it. You know, but I definitely want to do something in Los Angeles with massive of people, if whatever works.
Cool
I'm
deal.
all for it.
Cool deal.
I'm all for it.
And your auntie does something in L.A. Would you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, my auntie Kimberly Simonet, she's a supervisor of all the parks of Los Angeles, and she has like tons of kids and stuff. So I'll probably see what she has to offer. You know, once I call her, she just was like a mentor to me, like a mother to me when growing up. Yeah, and you know, I do want to do something for sure.
All right.
So how do we find out if you're doing this? When will we know, or how do I find out?
I'm thinking about, say, about a week, waiting on some calls. I got like 2 or 3 meetings just to hear some stuff out, and then I want to move forward with that. But JJ, what's up?
What you looking for, JJ? What you looking for? You got some ideas, JJ?
It's all good. I'm all ears right now. I'm in the city.
No. I would just like to know if I would then look on Facebook or how would you...
She's looking for your social media spots.
Oh, yeah. How do you follow her?
I really just do. I mean, I got Instagram, Mr. International 4. That's what they call me.
Mr. International
Mr.
4.
International 4. And then Facebook, my first and last name. My foundation is Never Give Up, under my first and last name. And then that's really it. That's the only social media I really have. And then, like, I don't know. When I walk in LA, it's like, you know what I'm saying? I just be crazy. People just be knowing. So I just be like, what up?
Everywhere he goes.
I'm nervous to go outside. Oh, God.
But we just produced a video of you and your grandpa. And Farhan also has a video.
Trench Talk, right?
Yeah. That was,
so where can they find that video for you?
It's on YouTube. And Riri, I call Riri. I nickname her Riri.
Dream and Riri. Riri the Dream.
I always nickname people. You know, you get a nickname from Hirsch.
I definitely can relate to that.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's on In the Front Row, and it's also on your own channel. You have a channel.
Right. Riri got her own channel called In the Front Row, which I like. It's cool. And she does a great job. She's been looking out for me, making sure things go right, man. She's just a blessing. I'm just gonna do it like that. And it means a lot just to meet her.
It's going to be a new website called 15 Countries.
Hey, we got to take this break because I got to bring the rest of the cast up here. But thank you for the calling in, JJ. We're going to take a quick break, bring up the rest of the guests here, and wrap up the show. We want to find out. We're going to talk some sports with you, man. So you got to let us know what your NBA, NFL team, baseball team is. So don't tell you right now, but after the break, we'll be right back. Sports Collective TV.
Okay.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health
The
and
views,
Science,
comments, and opinions of the following
USUHS,
program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Muscle damage, heat stroke, and collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your health care. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
Sports Collective TV, Mondays at 5 p.m. On today's lineup, the Oakland Raiders finally get the victory they've been looking for, and they beat up on the Cleveland Browns in overtime with a tough one. But hey, Tom Brady and the Patriots looked very good yesterday against the Miami Dolphins, and as well as Jared Goff and the Rams looked amazing on Thursday Night Football. But hey, NBA preseason is back with LeBron James and the Lakers, and as well Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and none other than Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors are all back in action for preseason. But as well, MLB playoffs begin this week. A lot of great games, a lot of great stories being told here, only on Sports Collective TV.
Back to Sports Collective TV.
He's not here.
I'm trying to get on there.
All right, Hurst. What is your NFL team, man?
I'm a Rams right now. We 5-0, 4-0.
Whoop whoop.
4-0.
We are undefeated.
And I'm just impressed on this stadium that's coming up too. So it's like
we had lunch across the street from that
I
stadium.
We don't even ask you about all that.
Yeah.
We had lunch. Nobody even asked you about no lunch.
Uncle's restaurant.
You went to the Sizzler
Louisiana.
over there?
No, there's a Louisiana.
That little Louisiana joint on the corner?
That's his uncle.
We went and had lunch.
What's up?
Welcome to Sports Collective TV. You're live.
Oops.
Don't hear.
Uh-oh. On camera.
Okay, we good.
You live at Sports. Hello?
She Jewish. She got a lot of money.
Stop with that. Come on.
Hello, caller.
Jeez.
No caller.
No.
No caller.
Fix it.
All right, so you're a Rams fan. NBA.
Laker. I'm going with the Lakers.
Why?
I've always been a Laker growing up in LA.
Right, always.
I mean, you got this Magic. Magic put the ground down. You know, he it's showtime. I mean, he get it live. He get it going. You know, and in the way they used to play back in the day, man, they was cold.
Yeah,
they was cold. You know, Chick Hearn. You know, Stu still hanging in there. I seen the game last night. Yeah. LeBron, he went there, did his thing. Rondo, they look good. Lakers look good last night.
Even though they lost,
they look good.
They look good. I got to give it to them. Now, what I'm gonna say is, it's gonna be some change. Luke Walton, I don't know. You know, he's going to have to do a little bit more, you know, mixing around because...
As in being LeBron's you-know-what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
did LeBron get coached last night? I just want to know.
I think LeBron...
That'd be a first. That'd be first.
He got
coached?
By the U of A alumni.
That's right. Don't forget it.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
He has to. Like I always say,
I think he
if he wants to learn how to beat the Warriors, who else is going to tell him how?
Well, not Luke.
Rondo. See, you got players. I mean, you're a basketball player. Right. I come from basketball coaching.
3 minutes.
So,
okay.
The first thing, man, I don't care who you put. You can put 5, 10 best players on a team. If you don't have no chemistry,
you have to have chemistry.
It's only one ball. You got to share the ball.
I agree with you.
You got to be humble a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like even hearing all the hype last night. Oh, he only had 9 points. He only played 15 minutes. It's preseason.
I don't see room for Lonzo right now.
They're not trying to play him that long. They just want him to get a feel.
Right.
That's just to get a feel. You know what I'm saying? Don't get excited, Los Angeles.
I love JaVale. I love JaVale.
Yeah.
I thought JaVale did a really good job.
JaVale
did a really good job last night. I was really happy for JaVale. He looked really good, I thought.
You know, I used to hang out with Rondo a lot. You know, and
Rondo looked good too.
Yeah. I mean, my first workout with the Celtics down there, I worked out with him.
Can't make a layup, but he definitely can pass the ball.
You know, and he plays defense.
Yeah,
but you know that. But you could go back to like a Brian Shaw. He couldn't make a layup either, but he can do it live to Shaq.
That's right.
You know this is what I tell a lot of guys.
This is why JaVale did so well. They had an outlet.
I tell a lot of guys, you know, if you a guard and you not that good, or if you're a big guy, you're not that good. The smallest thing is what counts.
Right.
If you can pass the ball 100 times in that one side and one dot, you win. You win in life. That's just how I look at it. Because a lot of guys, they have their scores.
By the way, this guy is a floor general on the floor. He's coaching as he's playing. He plays lockdown defense. He doesn't want to stop playing, so we need to get him.
What's up with your sons, man?
Hey, it's been rough for the last few years.
But,
rough.
Hey, but you know, hey,
they got faithful fans.
You know what?
The fans are faithful.
We invented small ball, but when you throw in the big man we can raise some hell. So
D'Anthony Milton's on that team.
We got Aiden now. We got a big man.
Mercury looked better than
Sparks.
Hey, you know what?
Sparks is
I was gonna bring that up because the Mercury make it hard on the Suns and the Rattlers because they doing nothing but winning.
Who is it? Diana Taurasi, the White Mamba.
Diana.
So you know what? We do have a Clipper fan amongst our group, right? So I'm trying to understand.
So check this out. I appreciate all 5 of everybody that showed up for the Clipper Media Day. You know, it is another team in LA, all 5. But you know what, though? It's really crazy how the whole city brought their media to go check out the Lakers media to see LeBron and him talk about what he's going to do for the next 4 years. And basically what that next 4 years he's going to do is establish... Oh, sorry. The next 4 years, he's going to establish himself as one of the best actors in Hollywood.
Exactly.
Because he's not going to win a title with the Lakers.
Exactly right.
Just checking. It's not happening.
Thank you for coming out, man.
I just don't understand how you be from LA and become a Clipper fan.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta be a Laker.
The same way you're from NorCal and you live here.
But I'm still a Raider. I'm still a Raider.
Thanks for coming on the show, y'all.
You want a TV show.
Hey, shout us out, Sports Collective TV. Man, we out of here, man. Thank y'all.
Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.